Hello, sixth graders. Today's lesson is on these learning targets. I can find cube roots. I can evaluate expressions involving cube roots. I can explain when to find the cube root of a number. And of course, I can ask for help understanding. So similar to what we talked about yesterday, cubing a number and cube rooting a number are inverse operations. So 4 to the third power, or 4 times 4 times 4, would be 64. The cube root of 64 would be 4. So these are inverse operations, just like squaring a number and square rooting were inverse operations yesterday. Now, how to find cube roots on your calculator. For this type of calculator, it's a little tricky to find cube roots. What you have to do is first type 3, then hit the second key right there, then hit this little up arrow type key right there. That then gives you the second function of this button, which is the x with the square root. Well, why you type that 3 in first is because that 3 is actually going in place of the x, and you're finding the cube root of this number that you're going to then type in. So to try it out, I would type 3, then hit the blue second key, then hit that little up arrow key. That then takes you to this key. Type in the number 27, and then hit equals, and you should get the number 3. Or if you're working on an iPhone, which is actually a little bit easier to work with for cube roots, what you need to do is type in the number you want to find the cube root of. For example, type in 27. Then you just have to push this key right there, which is next to the square root key that we used yesterday. And then when you push that button, you should get the answer of 3. So whichever tool you would like to use to find cube roots, just practice it a few times, and I think you'll get the hang of finding the cube root of numbers. So for the lesson, example 1 says find each cube root. So using your calculator, you would use whatever method you use on the calculator that you use. You're finding the cube root of 512, and you should get the answer of 8. Now this next one you'll notice is a little bit different because it wants you to find the cube root of negative 729. And we didn't have any of these yesterday. We talked about how we had the negative or the plus minus sign on the front. But cube roots can have a negative number as their answer. So the cube root of negative 729, and if you type it in correctly, should be negative 9. Because if you think about it, negative 9 times negative 9 times negative 9 would give you negative 729. So the cube root of negative 729 would be negative 9. Now this one's kind of like yesterday, it's a little bit tricky. I could take this number divided by this number, or this number is a perfect cube, and this one's a perfect cube as well. So I take the cube root of 125, and I actually just decided to make that negative, and that's negative 5. And the cube root of 343 would be 7. Now remember, with this negative, you just need one negative. You could put that negative with the 5 or with the 7, or just think of it as negative 5 sevenths. Okay, example 2, we are evaluating each expression. So think about these square roots or this cube root as a grouping symbol. So first thing I need to do is figure out what the cube root of 125 is. And the cube root of 125 is 5. Then, following the order of operations, it would be 3 times 5 minus 8. Well, 3 times 5, of course, goes first, and that would be 15. And then I would subtract 8 from that and get the final answer of 7. Okay, B, the cube root of 27 cubed is just going to take me right back to the number 27. Because like I said in the beginning, these are inverse operations of each other. So cube rooting and then cubing is just going to take me back to 27. And then of course 27 minus 4 is 23. You can pause the video and try answering these ones on your own. All right, to check these ones, the cube root of 1 should be 1. The cube root of negative 343 should be negative 7. And these are both perfect cubes, so the cube root of 27 would be negative 3, and the cube root of 1000 would be 100. So the final answer would be negative 300ths for this one. Okay, evaluating the expression. So the cube root of 8 should be 2. So then you have 18 minus 4 times 2. Well, 4 times 2 is, of course, 8. So then 18 minus 8 should give you 10. The cube root of negative 64 cubed is, of course, negative 64. Negative 64 plus 43, these have different signs, so I'm going to have to subtract and keep the sign of the bigger number. Gives me the answer of negative 21. Number 6, the cube root of 512 is 8. So then that leaves me with 5 times 8, which is, of course, 45. And then 45 minus 19 gives me an answer of 21. Example 3. Now this one has you replacing W with 1080 in a couple of different spots. So I have to put 1080 in here for W and in here for W. So that's what I did first, is I replaced the W with the 1080. Now, of course, I'd want to start with this part. 1080 and 5, neither of them are perfect cubes. So I'm going to figure out what 1080 divided by 5 is, and that is 216. And of course, 216 is a perfect cube, so I can figure out what that is. But meanwhile, I just divided 1080 divided by 30 and got 36, because I'm going to have to do that part first before I do the subtracting part. Then the cube root of 216 is 6. So then 36 minus 6 leaves me with a final answer of 30. Please try doing these ones on your own to practice and see how to do it. All right, to check those two, so first thing I had to replace y with 64 because it says y equals 64 here. So it would be 8 times 64 and then cube root that plus 64. Well, 8 times 64 is 512, and the cube root of 512 is, of course, 8. So 8 plus 64 gives me a final answer of 72. This one's a little bit trickier. So it's 2 times b minus the cube root of 3, or excuse me, the cube root of 9 times negative 3, because b needs to be replaced with negative 3. So that's going to look like 2 times negative 3 minus the cube root of 9 times negative 3. So first thing I figured out was 9 times negative 3, which is, of course, negative 27. The cube root of negative 27 is negative 3. Then I have to do this multiplication right here. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. So that leaves with negative 6 minus a negative 3. Well, minusing a negative turns into a plus sign. So negative 6 plus 3 would give you negative 3 as your answer. All right, a real-life application. It says find the surface area of a cube with a volume of 27 cubic feet. So this is combining surface area and volume into one question. Well, first thing I remember is that the volume of a cube is side times side times side. If you think about a rectangular prism, it was length times width times height, but in this case, all three of those measures are the exact same. So that means the volume would be s cubed. Well, if I want to solve for what s is when I know that the volume is 27, I just have to find the cube root of both sides, and that means that my side measure has to be 3. Now, using that side measure, I want to find the surface area. Well, back when we found the surface areas of cubes, the formula was 6 times side squared, because you find the area of one side, and then you times it by 6 because there are 6 sides. And to find the area of one side, you would just do side times side, or side squared. So now that I know my side length is 3, I'm going to replace the s with 3. 6 times 3 squared, well, first I figure out 3 squared would be 9, and then 6 times 9 would obviously give me 54 feet cubed, or excuse me, squared, and that would be the surface area of this cube right here. Okay, you can try doing this one on your own. All right, so this one says the volume of the music box that is shaped like a cube is 512 cubic centimeters. Find the surface area of the music box. Well, first thing I need to find is what the side length is. If the volume is 512, that means I need to find the cube root of 512 to figure out what one of these side measures is, and that, of course, is 8. Then to find the surface area, I know it's 6 times side squared, so it would be 6 times 8 squared. Well, 8 squared is 64, So 6 times 64 gives me 384 centimeters squared, which would be the surface area of this box. All right, your homework assignment for tonight is here. We'll of course get started on it together. You don't need to do this one on any graph paper or anything, just regular paper, but you're obviously going to need to have access to a scientific calculator to do this. So question number 1 says, is 25 a perfect cube? And the answer would be no. There is no integer that equals 25 when it is cubed. 25 is a perfect square, but it's not a perfect cube. Number 2, can the cube of an integer be a negative number? And the answer is yes, because negative 4 to the third power would mean negative 4 times negative 4 times negative 4, which gives you negative 64. So then the cube root of negative 64 would of course be negative 4. All right, you can continue working on your homework assignment. Please remember to email me if you have any questions along the way, and I can help you out.